Good evening, one and all. I'm vk3sl. Welcome to our evening program. Tonight we will be doing our usual things, strutting our usual stuff, playing historical recordings from the very early days right through to the 1930s, 40s perhaps. That's sort of getting beyond it a bit. We sort of inhabit that space, that Edwardian kitsch space, really. That's what we like to do here. And shortly Frank will be with us, and we also have a special guest tonight, which I look forward to introducing to you. He's busy taking pictures of me at the moment. So we have Ian with us as well, but he might like to say something a bit later on. So anyhow, we'll kick off with a recording from 1926. We're going to go back to here, the Georgians. This was a band which sort of a studio band. I think they made a lot of records under various pseudonyms, but this record is rates very highly in my esteem, mainly because of the trombone playing by Al Filborn, who was a very gifted trombonist, but he didn't do much solo work. But here he is. He's got the lead in this, I think. Back to 1926 and the Georgians with Horses. I'm vk3sl, and I think we should be in line. No, we're not quite there yet. I know it. Oh, hello there, Frank. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, good. I'm just trying to get this. Some reasons. Oh, I know why. I'm on the wrong bus. Not thinking. Oh, all right. We'll try that again. Take two. We'll do another needle drop, and we'll just set this up ready to go.
10 to 1 on spark plug. 20 to 10 on 4. Bet. They're all. Horses, nutty over horses, groovy over horses, she's a little wild. Daffy over horses, silly over horses. Once I heard her call me spark plug, brown eyes too. Yeah, she thinks I'm a horses. Bonnie Google at the altar. Maybe she will falter. Then I'll get a halter, just to make her mine. A woman's no means yes, I guess. A horse's nay is a horse's yes. Oh, it's horses, just a lot of horses all the time.
You heard the Georgians back in 1926, and yeah, it's a good, clean copy of that record. I've had that record on the shelf for a very long time, but not a good copy, and it's recently, this one's recently surfaced, so really pleased to have that here. And yes, you can even hear the musicians tapping on the floor, stamping on the floor. They really got into that, I thought. So, yeah, so
Good song.
it's a good, fun song, isn't it? It's one I should save up for Melbourne Cup Day, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
You've played it before.
yeah, I have. I've looked for excuses to play that one, Frank. Yeah, so
Why not?
yeah, so so we've got Ian with us now. Ian, if you want to put your headphones on, you're more than welcome to. Ian's busy taking photographs, taking lots of pictures.
Oh,
so
good.
yeah, it's
Good
been.
evening.
Oops, I'll just help him out here because we've got one of the sponge headphone bits is a bit weird. I tell you what. I'll put some theme music on. I'll put on a non-advertising feature while we get things sorted for a few minutes. Just stand on by.
Magic in Music. A story told by Chrysler Radio, featuring Fred Hartley and his world-famous players. This is the story of perfect musical reproduction. In presenting this demonstration, Chrysler is making history, bringing you a perfect recording that reveals all the transcendent beauty of natural color tone played on a Chrysler radiogram. In this recording, you'll be able to pick out each musical instrument recorded faithfully in thrilling sound. So that you'll be able to judge for yourself, listen first to the instruments that make up the musical mosaic of the orchestra. For years, the piano was the bugbear of the reproducing engineers. Hear how Chrysler overcomes all technical difficulties as the magic fingers of Fred Hartley himself demonstrate for us. Because of its overtones, the violin is another difficult instrument to reproduce. Listen how Chrysler captures every brilliant detail of Phyllis MacDonald's playing. John Robertson with his trumpet shows how Chrysler reproduces the brilliance of brass instruments. And now for a real test for the Chrysler radiogram, one of the bass instruments. Clive Amadio demonstrates the bass clarinet. Few people realize how much the string section of the orchestra owes to the warm tones of the cello. The cellist from Fred Hartley's orchestra, Lal Curing, allows us to hear Chrysler capturing for your enjoyment the haunting color of this instrument. The trombone in the hands of a master is one of the most beautiful of all musical instruments. Harry Larson gives Chrysler a chance to let you hear what it is capable of. These, then, are the ingredients of our story in sound. On the reverse side of this disc, we will demonstrate how a number of them combine in collective beauty as Fred Hartley leads his world-famous players. Its items enriched for your pleasure by the magic of Chrysler Radio.
And we'll save the other side for next time, I think. Yeah, that was a special. I think that record might have been made in Sydney. We have played it before. But, yeah, good to hear. I do like the way the cellist played that. I think he gets my stamp of approval, and good to hear Clive Amadio on the bass clarinet as well. So, Frank, you with us there? You might be busy getting yourself organised. But, yeah, what I can do is just quickly check our other microphones here. So just see if Ian's been very busy taking photographs. But Ian, do you want to just speak for a minute, and I'll see. Do you want to say hello? There you are.
Hello, how are you all?
Yeah, all good, thank you. And I think our audience is thrilled to know we've got a special guest on today. I'm just not quite sure which channel you're on. Just count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, good. I know which one you're on now. I usually have them labelled, but I don't have that done at the moment. Anyhow, welcome, Ian. It's lovely to have you here. And Ian lives around the corner, and a photographer, and has been a mentor for me in my sort of new hobby, new ventures into photography. And so I'm very grateful, Ian, for all what you've done, helping me along the way, get to know different cameras and different equipment and different approaches and the whole creative aspect to it all. But you've got the most amazing darkroom, and you had a remarkable career did a lot of architectural pictures, didn't you, and that sort of thing. Is that right? And
It was engineering, rather.
Engineering, yeah.
I photographed the building of a big petrochemical plant, actually.
Right. Yes. I saw those pictures. They're remarkable, and so it was like I suppose medium and large format pictures, were they? Most of them.
Yeah.
Good
Yes.
evening, Ian, from Frank.
Yeah.
Hello, Frank.
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you on air.
Yeah. So we've Frank's been co-hosting with us for quite a long time. Since gosh, I don't know.
Support hosting.
Oh no, it's just co-hosting. You get.
Thank you.
We share the chair, Frank.
You do me.
Yeah,
You do
but
me.
we've been going for quite a while, and I don't know, it must be 6 years or 7 years. I think it started in 2017, and we started off by having these long conversations after the program, didn't we, Frank?
You certainly did.
Yes, and then it's worked out really well. But yeah, so. So back to you, Ian. So yes, lots of different ventures with your photography, and so yeah, I saw those pictures of the petrochemical plant. I mean, they're amazing photos, and some of them would look like they might have been aerial photos. Were you up in a plane for some of them, or up high?
I have taken from a plane, but I think they were just from the top of the tall towers.
Oh yeah, that would have been fun climbing up to the top of those.
Not really.
No. yeah, quite a interesting project. And yes, of course, you did all your pictures at home as well, and you got the most wonderful established darkroom. So would have been good working from home. Yeah, and you started your career as in engineering or chemistry,
Well,
wasn't it?
I'm a chemical engineer normally. Yes,
Yeah, that's right.
Photography just is and always has been a hobby.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's interesting. So did you work at the plant that you photographed, or
Yes.
that's where you worked, and then you got the job of
I
taking architectural pictures?
I did almost everything there through the years. I was there 36 years and started off actually working on the plant itself
Okay.
as a assistant supervisor, and worked up to supervisor, and then moved across into the economic side and justifying new plants and processes,
Okay.
which was quite interesting also, which also involved me getting the first desktop computer
Oh, really?
back in 1980,
Oh, my goodness.
$22,000.
Isn't that incredible?
And it had a 10 megabyte hard drive.
Oh, how about that? It's just unbelievable when you think of it.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Did it run on DOS? A DOS sort of platform?
Yes, it was. And then moved to Windows 3.
Yeah, okay. And you sort of slowly work through all of the different systems. Yeah, oh, that's good. Yay! Oh well, that's yeah, it's nice to hear. And but I mean, you say photography is a hobby, but my goodness, you've been taking pictures all your life, and your photos are amazing, and you've got beautiful compositions. I've just marveled at the books that you put together of your pictures. I think you took some of Wilson Hall, didn't you, back in the?
I photographed it the day after it burned down.
Yeah, and that was what, 1950?
52.
52. Goodness me. I heard a lot about that because my cello professor, my music professor, was conducted a concert in Wilson Hall the night it burnt down.
Oh, good heavens.
Yeah, and he said he went home and he closed up that night, came home the next morning and the whole thing had burnt down. He was heard the next morning, and that's probably when you went in to photograph it. But they're very arresting pictures. I mean, in the ruins, it's an incredible sight. But sadly, they didn't choose to rebuild it. They bulldozed it and put up this rather less interesting building, let's say.
But the big stained glass window is, I believe, still in the Ian Potter Gallery at the university.
Oh, okay.
And it's about 3 levels high.
Okay, so they rescued the stained glass window. Oh, that's good. I think I've seen it there, actually, in the gallery, the Ian Potter Gallery. Yeah. That's interesting. I know that the doors from Wilson Hall ended up at Montsalvat. They're still got stained with the charcoal from the fires. But yeah, that would have been amazing. So was there much? Were you able to sort of have free rein and just walk around? Was there much police presence?
There was none. I could have
Right.
walked right into the building, and I'm sorry I didn't.
Oh, goodness me.
Because,
There must
Yes.
have still been smouldering.
as a student, film's expensive. You
Yeah.
didn't waste too much of it.
Yeah,
So I've only got half a dozen shots.
Yeah, but they're remarkable pictures. They're very evocative, incredible.
They were with a folding camera.
Yeah.
Historic, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. All right, well, we'll come back to we'll play a bit of music, and I'm just riffing through some of these wonderful records of Jamie's here, all sorts of weird and wonderful discs, and all really captivating. This one
Greetings,
here.
Jamie, if you happen to be.
Yes, and a warm hello to Jamie, who's helped us so much with our source material. And this one is La Argentina Castanets with Orchestra. How about that? I don't think we've ever had a castanet record. Now, this record would have to be from the late 20s. It's one of those parlophones with the stroboscope round the edge. And so it says La Argentina Castanets with Orchestra. Now, I don't know if that's a person or a group or what it is, but we've got the Serenata or the Bolero Classique. Shall I give the Bolero a go?
I think so.
I reckon we'll slap it on the platter and have to listen to this. It should be good. So I'm just going to quickly line things up, ready to go. And yes, our first serious castanet record. Okay, there we go. A record featuring the castanet as the main instrument there. I thought that was very, very affecting. Hearing the transients, it's a really it actually captured really well, I thought.
Excellent.
Yeah, so a little bit of Spanish flav, and yeah, I'm just trying to make sense of the band here. The group, it's La Argentina. It says castanets with orchestra. So yeah, we're just speaking to Ian about some of his activities, mentioning club activities, Ian, and you've been judging and doing different things with is it just with the APCS or other clubs or that you've been involved with?
Well, largely involved with the Melbourne Camera Club.
Oh, okay.
So I've been there nearly 60 years.
Yes.
And president and other officers for many, many years.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, they're in South Melbourne, aren't they?
That's right.
Yeah,
yes,
that's right. Yeah, good one. Oh well, that's a must have been enjoyable. You would have seen different generations of technologies, and would have, of course, all been analogue in the earlier times.
We've still got a very strong analogue group. Probably about 30 of them attend one Monday a month.
Yeah, oh, that's great. Well, you've got one analogue convert in front of you now. I've certainly found it just so enjoyable. I think I like the way analogue photography sort of, for me, it slows me down. And it means that, it means, there we go. There's the sound of it wasn't an analogue click. But, it's a digital sound, digital snap. But yeah, I have to say I have enjoyed the whole business of just contemplation and the delayed gratification. All those sort of things have been a big part of it for me. But
Give more consideration to what you're going to take before you do.
Yeah.
When the result is sort of when you can't easily correct things.
Exactly, yeah, and you only get what, for a medium format camera, you only get 12 pictures usually.
Well, that's the important part of a tripod.
Yeah.
Even if 35mm, you put it on a tripod, it slows you down, and you've got to think about what you're taking.
Yes, you got to look at the subject, got to think about all the variables. And it's important, but and I think also gets you thinking about light and the sort of the way that things interrelate, the way light and your environment affects things and reflects, and I think that's a big part of it too. But
well, it's all about light and shadow.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, well, that's good. Do you find it hard to judge when you're judging competitions and things?
I don't like judging, but I put up with it. I've told the clubs that this really is the last year I'll be judging.
Okay, that's fair enough. I reckon it'd be hard because I always find it, even as a teacher, I find it hard sometimes assessing, because especially when it's an artistic enterprise, because people just have different ways of looking at the world, and placing value judgments on it is a tricky business, I think. You can
very hard without imposing your own value judgment.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I find that difficult. Yeah, but yeah. Hey, alrighty. Well, we'll riff through the pile, play a few more records, and this one looks like it might be Italian. Circolo Mandolinistico Giuseppe Verdi of Leghorn. Mandolin band, 65 performers, says. Now, this is obviously a mandolin orchestra on a laminated Columbia record from about 1930. So, of course, we have our own mandolin orchestra in Melbourne.
We do. Very nice one, too.
Yeah. I had to play a concerto with them many years ago.
Wonderful.
Yeah, back in 1990. And they had a cello concerto, and I was accompanied by the Melbourne Mandolin Orchestra. And it was a really interesting experience. And we performed at the Assembly Hall. But anyhow, this one here is with the 65 performers, a mandolin band. So it'd be quite interesting to hear this.
Yeah.
I'll slap it on. I'll have to reach over for this turntable. I'm using the CE for much of the work today. So we're lined up and ready to go. Okay, you just heard the Mandolin Orchestra, which I won't try and repronounce the name of that group, but 65 performers, and they played a piece called Stephanie Gavotte and Mandolin Band, it says.
Very good.
Yay, it's all good fun. So, speaking about sort of offbeat, unusual instruments, another one in the pile is an interesting archive production, 78 from 1951, and it features the glass harmonica. I might have played one side of this earlier on, actually. I can't remember which side I played, but I'll feature it again because it's a most beautiful, evocative instrument, and I'm sure our friend Mr. Yaroslav Kovaricek would approve of the glass harmonica.
Totally.
So, yeah, we'll have a listen to... we got a Romance and a Grazioso, Beethoven and Reichardt. 2 tracks on this 12-inch record. But again, this label also has a stroboscope around the edge. I think these archive production discs were a part of the Deutsche Grammophon organisation, if I remember correctly. It all looks very official, sort of typed on the label, and I think it's the first generation of, or one of the sort of the higher end of the Deutsche Grammophon discs, I think. So yeah, we'll have a listen to some glass harmonica. So and Ian's been very busy taking photographs as we speak, so I feel like I'm hopefully doing the right thing. I've just got to get this, yes, in sync. I think we're ready to go. I'm vk3sl and we're testing.
vk3sl.
Okay, you just heard the glass harmonica, ethereal sound of the glass harmonica there, and 2 tracks on a 12-inch disc. It's not something you see that often, but beautiful sound. Just talking to Ian about urban sort of photographing decay in an urban setting, and what an interesting subjects, how decay and distressed states of buildings and things can be a really interesting subject, and we both share an interest in that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's a it's fascinating, urban exploration. I think there's sort of quite a few people on YouTube doing that sort of thing now. They're going in and photographing places and capturing the spirit of them before they get pulled down. I know the primary school down the road, which I went to Mount Waverley Primary School, and they demolished a big part of that building. And the night before the demolition, son and I sort of snuck in, and I took a whole lot of film of inside, because I remember all the classrooms that I'd been at, and I just wanted to capture just something of it. So,
yes, that's right.
For my imagination, but
Very important.
It is. I think it's important. Yeah. Yeah, anyhow, we've got this pile here. I'm going to riff through it and see if we can find... So we've been busy chatting away. And see if we can find one. Excuse me. Oh, here's an interesting one. Here's a mood record. Oh, an ABC. This is from the ABC. Water running down guttering. This is what this sounds like. This will be fun. So here we go. That'll keep us busy. That'll give everyone a lavatory break while they listen to this.
It's amazing the power of suggestibility.
Yes, it is. That's right. So this is...
Maybe you're having problems at the surgery where you need to produce one.
Yes.
And you're having difficulties.
I know. That's right. This is...
Turn the tap on.
That's right. They need to have this record playing through the PA system, and then that would be... it could help people find their necessary... mode of expression.
Indeed.
Here we go. So, to the sounds of the... it's interesting. That's a Essential Start record that goes out the other way. There we go. That was quite opportune. And, there was fun. Sound effects records are always good fun. So that probably was used for a radio play or something. But it says here, sound... it's an ABC disc. It's got the ABC logo on it. And running water down the guttering. Another one from the pile, another one with a stroboscope around the edge, is the Belgian Mandolin Orchestra and the music of A.W. Kettelby. Yes, I always look for an opportunity to play Kettelby's music, and it's always very programmatic and tells a tale. And this one is called In a Chinese Temple Garden. It's so Edwardian. I love the idea.
Right in a Persian market.
Yeah, Persian market's great.
It is.
Yeah, I love that song. I love that.
Me
that
too.
tune. Yeah. All right, well, let's have a listen to the
No,
Chinese
it's
one.
Chinese temple garden.
Chinese temple instead. So here we go. Wow, that worked up to a crescendo at the end. Even with its compressed dynamics, you could tell they were racing to the end. And yeah, that was the Belgian Mandolin Orchestra in a track called Chinese Temple Garden, the music of Ketelby. So
nice.
yeah, we'll have to feature the other Ketelby songs. I've got a few records here somewhere on the shelf of Ketelby conducting his own music, and of course he was an organist. Yeah, sort of very much in that Victorian, early Edwardian tradition. Yeah, so Ian, I'm going to ask you, what's your have you got a sort of a favourite style of photography? I mean, you're mentioning the urban stuff. Do you like doing portraits, or do you have or still lives? I've seen some of your still life pickies. They're amazing.
Probably the stuff that I enjoy most is, we used to call it experimental.
Oh, okay.
Where you're stretching things. I used to do what you do in Photoshop with film, combining a number of images together.
Yes.
Which was a little tricky because you had to make masks with black and white film and sandwich them together in register, and you're working with 35mm.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, it's so critical. All those little variables that they have to all work in to make interesting combinations.
Yes.
So they're sort of like montage type techniques.
And posterization, where you break the photo down into various colours rather than and getting rid of a lot of detail, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, just breaking it down to its fundamentals. Yeah, fascinating. And I've seen some of your close-up work too, and still lifes and things like that. I mean, they're remarkable.
Well, another one I enjoy is photographing things through polarised light. Where you use a polarised light source, then your object, and then another polarising filter.
Sure.
And one good source to these days of polarised light is screens.
Okay.
So your computer screen and that, put a blank sheet of paper up on the screen, and then hold some of these cellophane, sellotape, clear plastic spoons and that sort of thing, and look at them through a polarising filter.
Oh.
And you get colours because of stresses in the plastic or whatever.
Oh, okay. All those little micro stresses and what do they call it? Abnormal aspects of it.
Yeah. Part of the reason is that the plastic rotates different colours by different amounts, and the second filter remove some of them and not others, and so you get all these colours.
So you get this sort of fractured, diffused sort of action. Oh gosh, that's fascinating. So yeah, and that's quite creative, using a computer screen, and you're using the backlit sort of aspect of it, and then I suppose you can vary that in lots of ways as well.
Well, you see the effect if you look at a computer screen or anything like that with Polaroid sunglasses, because you rotate them and it'll go black.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, all those glasses you use to watch 3D movies do that too, don't they? Yeah. Yes, I saw you had a whole lot of 3D movie glasses, didn't you, at one stage? I remember you showed me those.
Yes, but they're no good anymore. The heat destroys the polarising effect.
Oh, does it?
Well, it's caused by stretching a particular plastic so that the molecules are all in line.
Right.
Now, if it's heated up too much, they'll go back again to their normal crumpled up form.
Oh, right. So it's sort of an entropic state, or the opposite, whatever it is.
It's interesting. I've got a couple of very old Polaroid filters going back 50 years or that.
Yeah.
They must have left them in the sun in a shop window or something, and they've almost all the polarising's gone.
Oh, really? It's actually changed its state. Gosh, that's fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, okay. Have you ever been interested in astrophotography, that sort of thing? Have you ever taken pictures of the stars?
I am interested, but I haven't done much. Of course, very difficult with analog, but with digital you can get such fast film speeds equivalent that you're able to photograph it.
Yeah.
Before that, most of the astrophotos were star trails where you had the in circles and that for.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I've seen in books and things like that.
So
yes.
well, they were up 6-8 hour exposures.
Yeah.
So now you can get exposures of 30 seconds is about the longest that you can use without them going to a star trail.
Right. Okay. Yes, then it starts to bleed or starts to sort of elongate and you lose that pinpoint sort of definition. Yay. Oh, that's intriguing. Yay. Good. Alrighty. So we'll keep the music going. We'll play another record. And this one, excuse me, I've got this post viral cough, which is just driving me nuts. But we have here a recording of Sydney Goosens. Now, she was the sister of Eugene Goosens, and she was a harpist. And she only died fairly recently. She lived to 105.
Good on her.
Yeah, and kept going. So, amazing dynasty, the Goosens family. And she was sort of a big name in the 1930s and 40s. She made lots of recordings. She was here in Australia, I think, for a bit. And, and her brother, Sir Eugene Goosens, was the conductor of the Sydney Orchestra and incumbent at the New South Wales Conservatorium and all of that.
He was Leon as well.
Yes, Leon Goosens, who was a magnificent oboe player. And there was a brother as well. I was looking through the biographicals here. Adolphe was a French horn player, but he was killed in action on the Somme at the age of 20.
Good heavens.
So, gosh, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, anyhow, Sydney was born in 1899 and lived until fairly recent times. So, we'll hear the harp solo with her. It's a song called Whirlwind, or a track called Whirlwind, a Columbia record, probably recorded in the late 1920s. Late 1920s, thereabouts. Okay, that was Sydney Goosens there, and I realised there's yet another member of the family who was a stone musician. She had another sister who was a harpist, Marie Goosens, also a distinguished harpist. What a story. I didn't realise there were so many musicians in that family.
Oh, who wrote that thing, do you know?
I'm not sure. I'll just find out, Frank. I'll check in. Here we go. It's Salzedo, S-A-L-Z-E-D-O. It's a track called...
Salzedo, yeah.
Yeah, Whirlwind.
Spanish.
Yeah. Here we go. The Other Side. This is. I might play this because I really enjoyed that record.
Yeah.
The Other Side is Londonderry.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this will be nice. It's yeah. I'm sure it'll be quite an interesting creative arrangement of it. So more Sydney Goosens on Columbia, and to think that she was only passed away a few years ago, and she's making records in the 20s. That's pretty impressive.
Did she make records later in life, do you know?
I think she was she was performing in well until the 1970s.
Great.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let's have a listen. A beautiful rendition of Londonderry Air with Sydney Goosens playing the harp there. A very well-loved record. It was, I think it's had a fair bit of heavy treatment there.
Yeah, still, beautiful. I can see why.
Yeah, it's good. Really good. So, yeah, I had no idea she made records, but now all has been revealed. So, yeah, good fun.
Excellent.
Yay, all right. Well, just riffing through this new pile of records, finding all sorts of weird and wonderful things. Well, this one's not so weird. It's a recording, I think it's quite a late recording of Nellie Melba. I think it was released in 1923. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was recorded in 1921, so sort of the later part of her career. And a recording of Chanson Triste. I think it's by Tchaikovsky, if I remember, but I've got the record queued up now. I can't check. But let's have a listen. And here, we don't play that much Melba. We should probably play more. We've got quite a lot of her records here, and they're always interesting to hear. It's interesting to hear her voice.
Yeah.
And she had such a very pure voice. And, had a very natural resonance. Didn't always capture that well on record, I don't think. But
Possibly not. No.
yeah, but anyhow, we'll have a listen to this. Of course, there are 2 electric recordings, or there's actually a couple. There's one live recording. Yes, made at the very end with, I'll see if I can find it on YouTube. I might play it after
It had a
this.
tendency to sound a bit shrill to me.
Yeah, it's it just didn't capture that.
Certainly at the top end.
I know what you're saying. Anyhow, we'll listen to this and we'll see if I can find those late electric recordings she made at the age of 65. But she'd be about 60 here, I think, in 1921. There you have it, Chanson Triste. I don't think that is by Tchaikovsky. I'm not sure of the composer. I will find out.
I don't know.
We'll check. Yes, Dupart. So, interesting what you say about that shrillness. I think what happens with her voice is it develops a certain sympathetic resonance, like standing waves in the horn.
Yeah.
And you get some notes that just really stand out. Much
Yeah,
louder.
it does. That's exactly right.
That's the
what
problem.
it sounds like.
Yeah, I know, and it is slightly problematic. I just don't think her voice captured as well. She made just 2 records, electric records in the studio. There's also an electric recording of La Bohème in concert, which is, I don't think, quite as accessible. But
No.
this, the technology for capturing live music in 1926 with microphones was pretty primitive. But the in the studio, it worked quite well. So I'll play this. This is from 1926. This is the very last record she made. It's with the young Australian baritone John Brownlee, who was about half her age. And they sang this together. It's from La Traviata. It's quite beautiful, actually. And you hear qualities in her voice here that you'd never, ever hear on the acoustic recording. So we're sort of lucky to have these
I'm
late.
looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah, it's quite remarkable. So, yeah, here we go. Dame Nellie Melba back in 1926, an electrical recording. Dame Nellie Melba and
What a
John
difference.
Brownlee. Yes, absolutely. Incredible, isn't it?
She loses that edge, doesn't she?
Yeah, I know. He's got a velvet tone, really,
Yeah, I get gee,
which you just don't
that's
always
out of
hear.
my thinking altogether.
Yeah, what a shame we don't have more. Just 2 recordings
No.
from 1926.
Imagine hearing her in her prime.
Yeah,
live.
yeah. There's it's a bit spurious, but there's supposed to be a recording, a Mapleson cylinder made in 1901, where they lowered the horn of the cylinder player over the proscenium and recorded, but it's debated as to whether it's her. But I'll say that for another time. It's an interesting story, but whoever's voice it is, it's extraordinary.
The one record I had of her was a duet with Caruso.
Oh, that's a wonderful record, 1907.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It's so musical. They're incredible. Their synergy is just, it's such a beautiful recording. It's one of the great recordings of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only one they did together. Actually, speaking of Caruso, I've got a recording of Caruso actually queued up, ready to go.
I think he records much better.
Oh, he recorded superbly.
Yeah.
His voice just captured magnificently on record, and he sort of made the gramophone in many respects.
Yeah.
He's even acoustic records just had such an enormous voice. It transcended the medium in some respects. He can capture
Such a powerful voice.
Yeah. This is really special because he's singing a duet. Caruso's singing a duet with Misha Elman on the fiddle.
Oh.
Yeah, he made a number of records with Elman, but Elman's vibrant tone. Elman was very young when he did these. He was only in his 20s, but Elman's just got the most wonderful, vibrant tone, and it complements Caruso's voice beautifully. It's a synergy made in heaven. It's just magnificent. So we'll hear this. It's the elegy, Massenet elegy, but a really magnificent recording. So we've got an original pressing here. So let's give it a whirl. So Caruso and Elman. You heard the great Caruso, and with Misha Elman playing the fiddle obligato on that record. Yay.
Wasn't there a movie called The Great Caruso?
Yeah, well, you're spot on, Frank, because I've got a soundtrack from that movie queued up right now.
Was it Mario Lanza?
Yes, absolutely. You anticipate. That is amazing. Because at this very moment, I've got a Kinney Lab the transcription record, an unusual one. It's blue in colour, and this is from the latest batch. They're soundtracks from movies. I think they're sort of transcribed for radio purposes.
Yeah.
And Lock Groove multi-track discs. They're good fun because you can get the movie excerpts without having to play the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, but we have the great Caruso lined up, and I thought I'd play a track with Mario Lanza, who had just a powerful voice, an amazing voice. He's just rather unfortunately his personality wasn't suited to the medium, and he didn't survive too well in the industry. But records Mario Lanza made were just extraordinary, and this is no exception. So I thought something a bit upbeat in contrast with what we've just heard, that magnificent record. I just love what we've just listened to. Love the pathos and the power in Caruso's voice. But you'll hear it with Mario Lanza in a different way, and we'll hear from Rigoletto. Let me just quickly line this one up. We'll hear from Rigoletto, La Donna Mobile. So, yeah, here we go. I think this is a 33, I think. Yes. So we'll just get this transcription record going. Sorry about the speed there.
La donna immobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento e di pensiero, sempre un'amabile leggiadro viso, in piano in riso e menzognero. La donna immobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento di pensiero, di pensiero, di pensiero. È sempre misero chi a lei s'affida, chi le confida, mal cauta il cuore, pur mai non sentesi felice appieno, chi su quel seno non viva amore. La donna immobile, qual più mal vento, muta l'accento di pensiero, di pensiero, di pensiero.
Yes, there we go. There's Mario Lanza doing the deed. And what a voice. Amazing reach. And yeah, he certainly was the person to play Caruso in the film. I don't know if he actually played. I think he did the singing. I think someone else actually played him. I'm not quite sure what the backstory of that. Yeah, there's others on this. So it might be fun to try and play another one. Let's see. Let's go bring up the microphone and let's see. We got
Mother
here.
loved his voice.
Your mother did.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Vernacular Avicella, Vucella, Vuccella. That sounds familiar.
Jello.
But yeah, what's on the other side? MGM's The Great Caruso, Chile, Manila, Sweethearts, Vesta. Oh, here we go. This is the famous one. Vesta La Guiba. That's from Pagliacci, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that Caruso really
The very sad, yes.
Yes, that's right. The dying clown, or
Heartbreak.
the clown, isn't it? Yeah. So that's track number. Let's play that one. 1, 2, 3. This will have lots of pathos. So I was going to cue this one up. So track number 3, we I'll get that in, and then I can. This is not very, very good with fast starts, this machine, but I think we're ready.
Recitar mentre presso dal delirio e non so più quel che dico e quelle che faccio. Eppure dopo sforzati, basta C'est for ce pagliaccio vesti la giubba e la faccia in farina, la gente paga e rider vuole qua, serlecchina ti invola colombina, ridi pagliaccio e ognuno applaudirà. Tramuta in lagi lo spasmo ed il pianto in una smorfia e si infiatta il dolor. Ridi pagliaccio sul che t'avvelena il cuore.
Yeah, that was Mario Lanza singing the famous aria from I Pagliacci, and he's, of course, channeling the clown, the saga of the clown who's lost purpose and is in a tragic state. Yeah, that's an interesting one. So yeah, from the film The Great Caruso, which I think came out in the late 1940s, thereabouts.
Or even a little later, perhaps.
Maybe so, yeah. These are Kinney Lab records. There's quite a lot of them here. Jamie passed them on, and they've got lots of film soundtracks, so we could have a bit of a strike up the band and movie. What was that program they used to have on the ABC with the movie soundtracks? They used to play them all the time. Was this,
I know. So called. I think so called. Was it John West?
It might have been John West's program, yeah. Could have been.
But there was, that's right. It was quite a good program.
Yeah, it was, definitely. Yeah, it was.
I can't remember the name of it either. Movie World or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And do you remember Music for Pleasure?
Yeah, very well, John Cargo.
Yeah, that was such a great institution, wasn't it?
It was Music for Pleasure, and there was Tenors of Renown.
Yes, and
Singers
of Renown, yeah. I used to love that, yeah. And
but they weren't in the same category as Dr. A.E. Floyd.
Dr. A.E. Floyd.
He was the best.
Yes, yeah.
I always used to wonder whether he was going to get through the program before he...
Yes. Well, he was a friend of my grandfather's.
Was he really?
They're really close friends because my grandfather's father, actually my great-grandfather, because he was the Dean of Melbourne at St Paul's.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Was it? No, I'm not surprised they knew each other well.
Yeah, they knew each other very well. So there's.
He was a very good organist, A. Floyd.
Yeah.
Apart from other things, he was a great. He was one of the doyens of music at that time in Melbourne.
That's right. Apparently he was a master improviser. I've actually got some records of his, of him playing, yeah.
Can we hear some sometime?
We must. We'll dig them up. They're on the shelf somewhere, but I'll have to get the shovel out, the pick and shovel, and and find them. They'll be somewhere deep in amongst it all. Yeah. Ian's been taking lots of photos, so we'll have a nice document of tonight.
That's wonderful.
And, so it's really good of you, Ian.
Sure, and, he's enjoying the music.
I'd like to hear something that's we could talk about this more another time, I suppose. But I know that Ian actually grew up as a kid in Fiji. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's because Ian gave a talk recently, which I was able to come along and hear, and partly about his youth and his father's. His father was a missionary in Fiji.
Yeah.
So Ian, you had that sort of a blessed childhood, amazing childhood, living in this magnificent place. Did you have strong? Well, how old were you when you moved back to Melbourne?
I was 13.
Oh, okay.
And we'd spent the whole of the war there, so
Right.
There wasn't much interesting activities in that because of the war.
Yeah. Did you see much evidence of the war when you were there? Was there restrictions and
Lots of restrictions.
were there? Yeah. Okay.
And particularly, you couldn't move around, you couldn't get petrol,
So yes, you would have had.
and restrictions on food and that.
Yeah.
Things like that you have every day, like apples and that, we never saw.
You never saw them. Oh
No.
gosh.
So
Yeah.
had to live on the Fijian foods,
Mm.
and Dad made his own bread, and
Right.
we had a couple of cows,
Okay.
made butter, and
Lived off the land.
even made soap.
My gosh, how incredible is that? It's just, yeah, we just take all these things for granted.
Yeah.
And I remember you showed in the slide, you showed a picture of the place that you grew up in. It's a classic looking villa with the verandas around it and so on. Yeah. So you're based in a couple of places though, weren't you? Your father moved around a bit.
Not really.
Oh no.
2 years in Lakemba, which is a remote eastern island of Fiji, and
Yep.
then 8 years in Bar, which is in the northern half of the main island.
Okay, sure. Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, and so the war it didn't actually come to Fiji though, did it? It was no fighting on in the island.
Well, no, but we had the Americans. That was just as bad.
Yes, yes. I can well imagine. Did they have American base there?
Yes.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, so there would have been a fair bit of activity and lots of planes coming and going and action.
Well, they built Nandi there.
Okay. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, interesting. So, and what was your schooling like then? How did that work for you?
It was by correspondence from Melbourne.
Oh, right. Okay. So they'd send you like a pack or something, would they? Would give you
6 months sort of stuff
Okay.
at a time because the shipping was so unreliable.
Yeah. Okay. And how did it work for you? Did your mum supervise you?
Well, Mum was a teacher, so there was.
Oh, okay.
She looked after us all.
Yeah. Did you actually go to school with the Fijian kids as well?
No.
No, you had your own space. Okay. So she was working with the Fijian kids during the day?
No, she. Well, not specifically, but we were Dad in particular was the minister there. Had
Okay.
22,000 members.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, good heavens.
That's extraordinary.
The whole of the north half of the island.
That's amazing. So how did it work? Did he just sort of have to go to a different place each week, or was he stationed in the one
He
place?
had over 20 native ministers, but he would be going out to various places, usually by horseback.
Yes, I remember hearing that interview with him. He talked about the travelling by horseback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. Amazing in that interview. He remembered some of the Fijian songs and things
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yes, he
Amazing.
wrote 3 books in Fijian.
Right. Amazing. Yeah. Oh, golly. That's remarkable. Did he have much contact with the place after he came back to Melbourne?
He did go back there a couple of times, once for the Declaration of Independence when it became a separate nation rather than a crown colony of
Right.
England.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, well, you've had a very unusual childhood. Not many people would have had that experience.
Right.
Were there beaches there? I'm just trying.
was the first one, but then I was a bit young, around about 3. But
Yeah.
in Fiji, it was mangrove swamps and all that. So
Okay.
no beaches. We didn't learn to swim.
You didn't have that access. Okay. But there would have been sort of, because there's so many islands, there would have been a fair bit of sort of travel between them. Did you get to look around much? No, just based.
No, travel was very difficult during the war.
Yeah, I can imagine it. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting, though. Some of those slides your father took were just fascinating. It just captured the native people and the environment. Yeah, he took a lot of photos, didn't he? Or he took,
Had quite a few, but not compared with these days, because it was restrictions on taking photos, and that was under army control.
Yeah. I can appreciate that. Yeah. Well, you took enough to sort of capture the atmosphere and to give an idea of what it was like.
And one of the problems was that the Indians were anti-British, and so
yes,
that was also a security problem.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Was it? It would have been fairly warm there most of the year.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And was there always good access to drinking water and that sort of thing?
We had that. Yes. We had a spring, and the water came down by pipes from up in the hills. But we did have one problem. I can remember when the water went off, and Dad went up by horseback up in the hills and found that a horse had died in the spring where our water was coming from.
Oh, no. Oh, that's not very good.
Oh, that's terrible.
It would have been dreadful. Yeah, everyone would have been sick. It would have had a horrible effect on things.
Yeah.
Gosh, Ian, it's, all interesting. Well, I'm looking at the clock, and I was just going to play one. I've got 2 sides of a 12-inch record here. I was saving this up, and this will be of particular interest because it's Artie Shaw playing his own concerto. Yeah, he actually wrote a piece.
Did he?
He wrote a concerto and he performed it with his own orchestra. So so it's sort of jazz inspired. It's picking up on the vibe of the times, but it's it's rather special. I sort of wasn't really on my radar. I think there is a reference to it when we earlier on when we were playing lots of Artie Shaw. I do remember there was talk of it, and I might have played a sample, but just having the record's rather special.
Oh yeah.
And this is an Argentinian disc actually, so I don't know what the whether it was recorded there. It's probably recorded in America. It's an RCA Victor disc, but I think this happens to be an Argentinian release. But Artie Shaw and his Artie Shaw Y Su Orchestra, it says, and his concerto for clarinet. So, yes, he's credited as soloist and composer on this. So, 2 sides of a 12-inch record. So, I'll flip the disc in between, but I think we'll give this one a go. It should be interesting.
You bet.
Yeah, let's have a little bit of Artie Shaw, and we'll make this our penultimate. I'll find something special to finish with after that. So let me see. I've got to get the right turntable in sync here. This one, that one, and just quickly before playing this, I'll just remind the listener that we are testing, of course, on 160 metres and on UHF. That's 430. What is it? 438. God, why do I keep thinking 435? 438.725 kilohertz, and we're also streaming live on YouTube. So there's a few different formats which we operate on, and we're delighted to have Ian with us as a guest tonight. And Frank and I do this regularly, very regularly, in fact. So usually 5 to 7 on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays when we're around. Won't be quite that way this week because I think tomorrow I'm out, but Sunday back on board from 5 to 7 during the grey line, and where possible we do the late night program from 11 now into the wee hours. So yeah, let's have a listen to Artie Shaw and his orchestra. Huddy Shaw, and his own concerto. What a master musician. Remarkable playing, very expressive.
Incredible.
And really inventive, actually. I thought that there's a lot of interesting twists and turns with that.
Lovely slides and drills.
Yeah. Yeah, he's certainly got a fertile imagination. There's no doubt about that. Amazing intellect.
Virtuosic playing.
Of a really high order. That's interesting. I like the way he evokes sing, sing, sing in the...
Yeah, I know, with the drums.
With the drumming there. I thought that was interesting. So, but probably a bit even more, I don't know, diverse in his ideas there. But yeah, that's an interesting record. Well, just a couple of things before winding up. There's one record I had put aside to play, and I've got it lined up now. It's an Boozy and Hawkes Mood record from the 1940s, and it's in the light music category. But it's called the Runaway Rocking Horse, and I haven't sampled it, but I just wanted
I
to.
think I might have heard it.
You might have heard it. You might know it. Yeah, well, maybe I have played it and I've forgotten.
No, I don't think I've heard it from you.
Right, okay. It's but it's the J. Wilbur's Orchestra.
Right.
And yeah, he's an English dance band leader, and yeah, did some fun things. So I might just play this one. Then I've got a special thing to wind up with at the very end. So just got to get my right turntable initiated here.
I just fancy I remember the name.
You remember the name?
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll see. Anyway.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, here we go. The Runaway Rocking Horse. And that was the Runaway Rocking Horse.
Used to play it all the time in the 50s.
Oh, really? You used to
All
hear
the time.
it?
It was a classic bridging music between
Yes.
programs.
Yes,
stuff.
it's got that sort of flight of fancy, doesn't it? That
Oh,
sort of
it's very
character.
nice. It's
Yeah.
light British,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
sort
Yeah,
of
that's
David Rose sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There it's so well.
Oh, that's great. Yay. Yes, conducted by Jay Wilbur. And look,
What was the orchestra?
it's the new concert orchestra.
Yeah. That's typical.
Yes.
It's British.
Yeah, definitely. While we're at it, shall we play the other side? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear the other side. It's called Fairy and the Fiddlers. I love the string music. I love this British string music.
It's lovely.
It's just,
So tuneful and happy, isn't it?
yeah, it's marvellous. I love it. So, yeah, let's...
I bet I know this one too.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. They're so much fun, these records. I'm just so thrilled to have at hand some of these mood records or these like Muzaks, chapel discs. But yeah, let's hear another. And we're testing. Brits were such great musicians, well, they still are great musicians. Some of the best orchestras in the world come from Britain, and I think it's they have a naturally an empathic approach to their craft. I think
Yeah.
that there's a homogeneity, there's a sense of belonging that you, I think it's a part of the English demeanour is to feel connected and not stand out too much. And you just get these beautifully homogenous performances. I mean, it was excellent playing, really
Very
was.
good.
It's just top line. There's so many of them. I've just fistfuls of Chapel discs. I'll save up some more for for our next when we catch up on Sunday, Frank.
Good.
Yeah, got some descriptive pieces here. One Storm Music, Enigma, and Street in Algiers, and Gallop from the Opera Bouffe, Coral Reef, Wandering King's Highway, Tinkerbell. All these great names for mood-related subjects.
A great variety in there.
Yeah, it's all good fun. Yeah, so I think at this point we'll start winding up. I'm still recovering a bit, so we won't go too late tonight.
No, it's fine with me.
And first I'd like to thank you so much, Ian. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank
indeed.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's been great. So thank you, and taking all those pictures, and and hearing some of your stories. You're always welcome. You're a neighbour. You're around the corner. Anytime, you're more than welcome to sit in and be a part of it. So
Thank you.
it's something we just do very regularly. It's just a part of the life's tapestry, and for me, it's an excuse to play these records. Otherwise, they never get played. So we find a forum. And of course, it's great to catch up with Frank as well on a very regular basis.
Yes,
So-
I certainly enjoy it.
It's all good fun. Okay, well, we'll finish with something a bit special. It popped up on the list. Now, I've got the original of this record somewhere on the shelf, but I can never find things when I need them, so it's easier to dial it up. And it did pop up on my news feed this week, and I listened to it while walking to work. And it's the most meltingly beautiful piano playing. And the pianist is Harriet Cohen, and she's playing the music of Bach and the Prelude and Fugue in E-flat minor, BWV 853. It's just so beautiful. So we'll let her have the final poetic moment, and we look forward to your company on Sunday. Won't be around
Likewise.
tomorrow. I'll be
Likewise.
out. Yeah, so we'll catch up then.
Excellent.
And
Steve.
so thanks, listeners, and thank you, Frank. Thank you, Ian, and we look forward to next time.
We say adieu to the listener.
Indeed. Cheers for now.